What is up, everybody? It's the Sound Alchemist, and today I'm back to talk about Warhammer 40k. So today we have confirmation that between Slaanesh, Nurgle, Zeech, and Khorne, we finally have a winner as to who the best, the strongest Chaos God is. And it's none other than Nurgle. Nurgle is the strongest of the gods because not only does it affect the realm of Warhammer 40k, but it's also affecting us right here, right now. And what can I say? It's affecting us in the most negative of ways. So of course you guys know by now that the world is in a pretty shitty state. And because of that, complications tend to happen, and that's exactly what's going on with the release of the Death Guard book, ironically. So Nurgle is the god of pestilence, decay, disease, rot, but at the same time, this god also infects and hinders his own legion because the Death Guard codex has been postponed until early 2021. If you guys were looking forward to pre-ordering this codex for your traitorous, rotting marines, unfortunately, you've got to wait just a little bit longer. I believe the Blood Angels are still okay. If you pre-ordered it, it should still be coming in. But when it comes to the Death Guard, unfortunately, you will have to wait. Now, before you go complaining and whatnot that unfortunately you have to wait a little bit longer for your book to play your little plastic army men, think about it. We have a few more weeks to just sit around and ponder the epicness that is to come because we have been gifted, blessed by the people over on the Warhammer community page with two awesome presents. I mean, 'tis the season, am I right? So the first thing that we got to look at is this awesome wallpaper that we can all download. So I'm going to be providing the link down in the description so you guys can snag this awesome image. And speaking of this awesome image, if you look to the background, you will actually see a very peculiar looking piece of art. Now to me, it looks like a demon engine / lighthouse. And it's a model that we might be seeing sooner than later. Because usually when GW does these promotional artworks, it's like, yeah, you see all the epicness, but they like to sprinkle in images of models that are going to be coming out soon. That's what they did with the Lord Discordant, and I think that's what they're going to be doing here with this awesome miniature. I don't know exactly what it will do or what exactly it is, but I did make a post on our community page over on the YouTube channel, and I'd like to comment that one of you guys said. You guys said that this is the Blight House. Very creative, I like that a lot. So for now, let me know what you guys think this Blight House actually is down in the comments below. But also, the second little nugget that we got from the Warhammer community is a full sneak peek. Well, it's not really a sneak peek. The entire data sheet for Mortarion is out, and we could look at it at all its splendor. So no longer do we have to play with Mortarion's old stats. Now we get a little bit of a head start into fielding Death Guard armies by playing none other than the Primarch of Decay, Mortarion. So without further ado, guys, let's dive into his datasheet and uncover all that he is. Now, of course, he is a Primarch, so I didn't expect a very low power, but boy oh boy is he expensive. 25 power level. But he does come in with 12 movement, so he can move around the battlefield pretty good. The thing that I'm not really liking too much is his degrading stat line. The only thing that does go down is his movement and his attacks. Everything else stays pretty much stagnant, but he only has 18 wounds. Now, at first glance, 18 wounds does seem like a lot, but when you think about the Catan and what they bring to the table, I don't think Mortarion stands a chance against them. In the lore, Catan are weak to psychic powers, and Mortarion is a psyker, But the thing that separates Mortarion from a Catan is that Mortarion does not have a cap as to how many wounds he can take. So, if the dice gods are heavily in your favor, you can potentially wipe out Mortarion turn 1. This is a feat that cannot be done with any of the Catan, because not only do they regenerate wounds, but they also have a cap on how many wounds they can take per turn. This is something that we saw with our first model ever on Gazgul Mag Orc Thraka, the Prophet of the Wall for the Orcs, and I thought it was going to be a welcome change to having your big baddies stay on the table longer. Because usually these guys are super expensive, but also really good, and it really sucks if they get wiped out turn 1, and all the points, all the money that you poured into your model has just been taken out of your grasp. So it kind of sucks that Mortarion does not have this. Does this mean that Magnus and any other Primarch will also not be having this cap on how many wounds can be lost? I don't know, but it's not looking too good. But I may be talking a little too prematurely, because we haven't looked at his weapons, his psychic powers, nor his abilities yet. So let's do that. So there's no surprise that he still has Silence, his massive scythe. It's got an eviscerating blow and a reaping scythe attack. On top of this, he also has Phosphex bombs, the claws and teeth of his attendants, and of course his pistol, the Lantern. Now with the scythe, of course, it has the 2 modes that I said earlier, and you basically want to switch modes depending on what you're attacking. If you have a lot of squishy things, go for the Reaping Scythe ability, which every time you attack with this weapon, you make 3 hit rolls instead of 1, so they can easily pile on the damage. With the Eviscerating Blow, your strength is doubled, and you do D3 plus 3 damage, so that's pretty good. And the cool thing about both of these is that they're both plague weapons. Now with the Lantern, we continue to see the ability where you draw a straight line between the closest point of Mortarion and the closest model that you're targeting. And then when you make the attack, you make 1 wound roll against the unit and each other unit that this line passes on over. Now it's not broken because of course it's only a pistol, so the range is only 12, but at strength 8 minus 3 AP, you could be doing a lot of damage, since it does do 3 damage. When we look at his abilities, he's got Disgustingly Resilient and the Contagions of Nurgle. On top of this, since he is a Demon Primarch, he has to be your Warlord, but that's okay, it's thematic, it makes sense. He's got the Primarch of the Death Guard and Lord of the Death Guard auras. Well, the second one's an aura, and that basically means that you select a friendly Death Guard core unit within 6 inches, and every time they make an attack, you get to reroll once. With the Primarch of the Death Guard, in your command phase you select a Death Guard core or a Death Guard character within 6 inches, and then that model can make a reroll on the hits. So obviously the Primarch's a little bit better because you don't just reroll ones, but at the same time it gives you a little bit of flexibility to make your army just hit a little bit more often. Now he does have the Barbarian Plate, which gives him an invuln save of 4 up, and the interesting thing about this is that I thought he was going to have a 3 up invuln. I guess that would make him a little bit too tanky, but like these are Primarchs, they're supposed to be hard to get off the board. Again, I'm not really liking or maybe that's just me, cause okay, so what I'm thinking is that he's just gonna get shot off the board. Like, he's got Disgustingly Resilient, yeah, I get that, and there's like abilities and psychic powers that you can cast to make it harder to hit him and whatnot, but still that whole cap on wounds not affecting him, that hurts. I don't know, am I overthinking things? Let me know down below, but let's continue on. So he's got the Host of Plagues ability that you do at the start of the battle round. You then select one of the following Warlord traits, and that model automatically gets it. So you can choose between Shamble Rot, Ferric Blight, Gloaming Bloat, Eater Plague, Sanguis Flux, The Droning, and Nurgle's Fruit. So you have a lot of Warlord traits that you could really play around with and give him. So It's pretty interesting. The one thing of note is that you can't give him one that another character in your army already has. And he does have Putrid Explosion. Basically, when he dies, he deals D3 mortal wounds on everything around him on a 4-up, except Nurgle units. Because why would a Nurgle unit take damage from a Primarch exploding goo all over them? I get what they were trying to do, but I don't know, it's just funny. And then he's got Toxic Presence. Basically what this means is that this model counts the battle round number as being 4 for the purposes of determining the contagion range of the contagion abilities. So that's something that we don't know exactly 100% what it is. It is going to be in page 62 and 63 of the codex, but I don't know if this is something new or if it was already in the 8th edition codex, or if they're just going to change around what exactly this ability is. So that's something that we have to wait to be 100% certain on as to what that could be. And then finally, he is a Psyker, so he knows Smite, and he can also know 3 psychic powers from the Contagion discipline. So you got a lot of abilities to choose from, and at the same time, he can also deny 3 psychic powers. Which makes sense, because I mean, he himself hates the fact that he's a Psyker. He doesn't like Psykers at all. So him being able to deny 3 psychic powers really fits Mortarion. And with that being said, boys and girls, we have come to the end of yet another 40k video. There's a lot of things to look forward to in the coming months. The release of many codices. Unfortunately, this one got pushed back, but I mean, considering what Nurgle's doing to a life on Earth, it was bound to happen. I mean, look at what happened near the end of 8th with all of the Psychic Awakening books getting pushed around and whatnot. So, it sucks, but it's something we just have to deal with. Give me your thoughts on what you think this Blight house is actually going to be. Give me your thoughts on what you think about Mortarion. Is he good? Is he okay? Disappointed? Let me know. I, for one, a little disappointed, but I mean, what can you do? Because I get it, Catan are freaking ancient star gods, but at the same time, Mortarion is a freaking demon Primarch, so I don't know. Maybe one of you guys can make me see the light at the end of the tunnel with Mortarion. But yeah, let me know your thoughts down below, and stay subscribed for more things 40k. As always, I have been the Sound Alchemist, part of One Mind Syndicate, and I will be catching you guys in the next one. Peace.